Folks, dude here, coming to you on yet another occasion of Dude After Dark. Hopefully, you guys actually have me in the room on the YouTube side. I don't know what it is, but for some reason, this laptop has not been playing nice with my snowball. I don't know what I did with the little booger, but I still have it somewhere. But the Yeti snowball has been a point of, well, let's just say imminent and complaining, disreputable dukification. it's been a roaring case of suck. I don't know why, but for some reason, um, it's just been snarky. They just haven't played nice. I don't know what's going on there. It just could be a case of just one doesn't like what the other one's doing, and just I don't know about that sound guy, but no, they weren't playing nice. Okay, it was like things just were caca. Okay, the Endermensch. How's the State of the Union? Well, it's still in place. Barry K. Sean, appreciate you in the room there. Everybody hanging out on the YouTube side. Hopefully, I got some people on the Facebook side now that I'm back after being shadow banned. Excuse me 1 second here. Not to bemoan you with my tale of woe, but let me at least describe what happened to you guys. The main Dude Jerky page has been, I don't know if it's been deplatformed, but it's been turned off. And if anybody ever says, well, all your stuff is gone off Facebook, no, it is not. It is still on Facebook. They archive everything. All your stuff is stashed in one of their servers in some deep file, and they basically turn the page off. It doesn't mean the page is not in existence. It just means that they've turned it off. It still is there. So anyway, way, shape, and form is essentially, I was like, all right, well, I'll play fast and loose. And I went into an incognito tab, and I tried to log into my old one. Well, because I was using the same IP address for the, you know what, let me just play myself a little bit safer here. You know what, I'm going to archive things. Give me 1 second here. I am going to archive things just a little bit more carefully. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my, that's not what I wanted. That's right there. Okay, that's what I wanted. Okay, so I'm going to archive things, and I'm going to have also one of my non-broken versions, but the broken version of the Note 9 will be archiving this video, and it'll have it stashed for later dissemination if things go completely well, let's just say if it just magically disappears. That's right, it just magically disappears if things go completely tab. And my IP address was the same for the standard Chrome tab versus the incognito tab, and Facebook is like, hey, you're using IP address 01 blah 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 blah. We know that's you. And then I use the incognito tab, which is 01 blah 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 blah. And it said, hey, that's the same guy. We blocked him out. So we're gonna block him out on all these other ones. So they blocked me out on my Dude Jerky 2, which is my secondary one. They blocked me out on the incognito tabs, which I use to log into my music-oriented, and I do mean music-oriented, like, those guys who do know I actually do some side work. Besides doing Uber and Lyft, I'm not a sound tech, but I'm a band tech. And what I do is I assist the band getting set up and the band getting broken down. There's 2 bands that I actually do work with. And of course, there's not a lot of gigging going on right now, so things are a little quiet in that regard. But also, there's a local sound guy, and I'm not actually employed by him, but he's like, informally asked me, hey, man, do you want to work with me? And I'm like, well, dude, if you got the work, sure. I mean, it's a guaranteed X amount of, cash in hand. I know every time I work with you, boom, cash in hand. No matter what the Uber and Lyft situation is going to be for workload, I know I can count on that cash at least, bam. And then what usually has happened is if it's a local enough gig, I'll if it does, have like full serendipity. What I would have is I would set up the band, break down the band, set up the sound, break down the sound, and then hop in my car, fire it up, and then start doing Uber and Lyft And yeah, it's really a major ass kicker when I do that to myself, but it can be a really, really profitable day. Like some of the days I've actually cracked like $350 to $370 in one day of work, working like basically three jobs contiguously. If you gig from one side to the other. Matt Duggan, appreciate you coming by. My buddy from down under there. Uh, so that's the way it works contiguously. Is I literally would work three jobs, bing, bing, bing. And so that was literally the one that got locked out on the incognito side. And then there was like a family one that is literally, it is like so lightly used. I think I maybe have like my last post on it was like a while ago. And it is a very, very lightly used Facebook page. I mean, literally, it is like the very, very first Facebook page I think I've ever had. And it is strictly used for like family oriented stuff, like keeping up on family events, getting a hold of family members that I really don't do political stuff with. I utilize that Facebook page. It's just easier. They know, oh, it's just Mike talking to me. It's not Mike going political. Mike is being Mike and not dude. So in that case, that's where that one is. And then there's a couple others that I utilize. I have one that I just set up, and it is like so secret squirrel that Facebook never even caught on to the fact that it's me, and it's around as a just in case backdoor. Oh, my stars and garters. Oh, crap. How am I going to address this except for utilizing this one? Only problem is now I got a bunch of people and I have to say, hey, man, it's really me contacting you here. And then I got to be snarky in the way of doing it in code so Facebook doesn't go, oh, he just used this key phrase and this other person used this key phrase. That's the same guy. So you got to be really, really carefully there. Poe Diddley, also known as Mr. I know who you are, Mr. Poe Diddley. I just messaged you earlier, brother. Hope things are good up in north of my border. I know where you are. Hope tell the boss I said, hey, if you get to see her, and hopefully she's like all there on that day. Always thinking about her. She's a nice lady. Let's see. You can look it over here. CLU built-in VPN, and it's like alternatives to Facebook, Twitter, Google, all these other things. And let's just look at it real quick and dirty here, okay? So looking at this meme for what it is, I posted this up, and it's like for a web browser. They say don't use Chrome. They say use Brave. And I just literally installed Brave in my home computer. Mobile version is around, but they're working on getting an improved version of Brave out there. So Brave right now is at a kind of a nuanced new thing. Appreciate you there, brother. So a nuanced new thing on the interwebs, as it were. So Brave is now offered on mobile platforms and your home platforms, where you like your desktops. And I downloaded it. I've experimented with it a little bit. I really haven't played with it too much. There is a couple links that I actually posted up on Facebook that I found on Brave from one of their news feeds. And I'll get into that as the show progresses. But they say it's an alternative for Chrome. Use Brave. As an alternative search engine, do not utilize Google, but utilize something I have used before called DuckDuckGo. DuckDuckGo is really cool because it's an alternative to Google. It actually uses Google search parameters, but it encrypts you in such a way it doesn't know that you're the one doing the searching. So it actually is pretty good in that regard, and it's nice in the instance that you can count on the fact that your stuff does not go into the Google SEOs and search parameters and all this other stuff that seems to be like the major service providers are the guys that are pretty much the ones who are raking in the cash, and the guys who produce the stuff really aren't. Excuse me one second here. Got a little bit of a sinus thing going on today. I don't know what it is, but like my allergies been kicking up. I took it Zyrtec, and now my sinuses are going, hey, you just allowed all this crap to come in that we said don't allow in. I'm like, thanks so much. Wait. So alternative to YouTube, they say to use Rumble. I have seen some stuff on Rumble, and I actually have viewed some secret videos on Rumble. Would I say it's really stuff that's so in the down low that you'll never find it? No, no. I'll say what it is though. Is it is an alternative. It's a good platform. I mean, the videos themselves streamed well. It didn't seem like there was any juddering or anything. The frame rate was fine. And they say to use Rumble in place of YouTube. Well, the biggest damn problem is for YouTube and me right now is I got over 1,000 videos on YouTube. You're probably talking like not a terabyte, but you're probably talking like a lot of downloading for me to actually get that stuff and put it, like physically on a. Hang on a second here. I got one hiding someplace. Here we go. Yeah. Come here. I saw you. Yes, you're hiding, but I saw you. Okay. For me to put stuff on like my own hard drive, this being like a 2T Western Digital, and I saw that they now have 5 terabyte Western Digital portable hard drives, which is cool. I mean, the stuff's getting bigger and better and all the rest of that good stuff. But I got a lot of file size of stuff on YouTube. It would take me 2 hours in a day to suck that stuff down and put it into any place to off store it and build my own cloud per se. It's something I really truly need to do, and I need to go through my selection of videos and pull those videos that I currently have as private, doing air quotes, private, that keeps views from happening, and of course YouTube from pulling the videos, unfortunately. So unfortunately, what I'm not right now doing is I'm using YouTube as a storage medium. The only downside is the stuff that I really truly would like to keep public. I really can't do public because, a lot of, well, let's just say subject matter, it's really not cool right now the way that, YouTube has put the kibosh on a lot of stuff to say, well, you can't put that out there because, if you put that out there, people will see videos that potentially they might be offended by. And, it's really annoying. But that's unfortunately what we have to deal with right now. So, that's where we are. Well, oh, no, I did do it. Okay, I'm not going to undo it. Okay, it's up there currently. So that's what that stuff is right there, and that is how it is. It's up there, and I need to put it on a new platform where it's going to be not conjigured with, and it'll be safe. Okay. So anyway, that's where we are with that one. And so anyway, going down, they say social media instead of Twitter to use Parler. Well, Parler just got deplatformed from Amazon because Amazon. I don't know why Parler did this. This was possibly one of the most
parental discretion is advised.
No, I'm not going to say anything untoward there, sound guy. But for you to put your stuff someplace where they could screw with you, yeah, you're going to get
death by snoo.
No, dude, that is not death by snoo. What happened is you put your stuff on a server platform where they're politically minded and they're not with you in step, and you got squealed. You did not get snoo. Okay? You did not get snoo. You got these guys going, well, we're just going to flip the switch and take you off. Yeah. Yeah, no, not that one. Not that one. That one. That one. Yeah, you got deplatformed with a quickness because I don't know what in the world they were thinking, but Parler hosted themselves on Amazon's servers. Granted, I'm sure they probably have redonkulous servers because, they're dealing with how many bazillions of packages and how many bazillions of orders worldwide, tracking everything, shipping stuff, financials back and forth, all of the rest of this fun stuff. People doing reviews, people reading reviews. Amazon right now is literally probably the biggest retailer. If they actually are, they're the biggest retailer on the planet right now. I don't care what Walmart says. I don't care what Walmart.com says, but it ain't going to be something that is really going to get huge amount of rapport simply because just everybody is they're doing it. Okay. It's just how it is. Everybody is on Amazon. Everybody's doing everything that they need to do on Amazon. Mostly because it's just a quick, easy way. You go on there and you go, oh, yeah, well, I'll just, order this real fast. And then, I'll get this to come in. And it's going to be very easy. And I just hit the button. And I don't know if it was like a cash register there, sound guy. But anyway, so Parler got deplatformed off of Amazon because Amazon could. They own the servers. They said, you know what? We're just not dealing with you crap anymore, or with your crap anymore, and we're just going to off you go. Let's see. I don't think that Brave can change your IP address. No. I think Brave actually encrypts your IP address. I got to play with it more. I do believe that they have a VPN that actually takes place on the home setup. So basically on your desktop login versus the mobile setup. On the mobile setup, I think they said they're working on the VPN. It's not quite there yet. Logan Ray, appreciate you coming on by. And Delano Rossi, also known as Beta. 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 Appreciate you coming on by, brother. So looking at things and basically scrounging around. Look over here. Matt Duncan says 2021, the war on the freedom of speech. Yeah, Matt. That is unfortunately the way it seems to be shaken out right now. But, big, hairy, nasty, stinky butt. I got
But I pooped from there.
No, sound guy, stop. that wasn't the butt I was talking about. Okay, I need to go over to my stack of stuff. That's right. Heading over to the stack of stuff. All right. So anyway, they say basically the social media used Parler. Parler's crashed to serve them. I think somebody else was. Yeah. AR15.com got hosed. Why? Because they were on GoDaddy. Why would you be on GoDaddy? Man, it wasn't actually sponsored Danica Patrick. Oh man, you want to talk about somebody that really just could not No. Danica Patrick can drive. She's just not very competitive. She's not good, okay? And anytime anything screwed up, she was not the best one at being a good loser. You know, you'd see her on the wherever area complaining to the news guys. Yeah, she was not a good loser. Not a good loser. Anyway, so safe to say that Danica Patrick, her racing career was I mean, she was semi-cute, dressed up, you know, kind of doing the I'm looking hot thing. She was okay. You know, it was obviously the one chick surrounded by a bunch of guys. So, you know, you're going to stare at the one chick. But in terms of her being competitive, yeah, not really. She wasn't that particularly great a competitive driver. Then they say for social media, on this meme I posted up, it said instead of Facebook to use MeWe, which I do use, and Clout Hub, which I've been looking at, but I haven't signed on to just yet. Clout Hub looks intriguing. MeWe, for all intents and purposes, man, MeWe is just almost a spot-on copy of, you know, Facebook. It is really, really close. You could say pretty much it's like they basically just ripped the platform and said, "Oh yeah, we're going to do this," except we're not going to do everything in blue. Now, the dirty little secret is there's a reason why everything on Facebook was blue, and there's a reason why. It's because Mark Zuckerberg is red-green colorblind and couldn't see the colors. So blue and shades of blue was easy for him. But looking at this white garish thing that they have now, I got it turned off. I mean, I literally have like the display and accessibility. I went to dark mode, and that was the easiest way to do it. It was just so harsh on the eyes looking at it otherwise. There was no other way to just look at Facebook other than simply putting it in dark. It's one of these where you're looking at it, it's just like it's harsh. It's just like this white screen staring at you, man. You're just looking at it and your eyes are just going, ah. You know, it's just too much. You're staring at this and your eyes are just like, well, yeah. Yeah, you're staring at this just garish, just just white on white with like black lines and lettering, and it's too much. So I usually go with the quote unquote turn off the lights or quote unquote dark mode. It's just easier. Let me look over here at YouTube real quick. CLU. Okay, cool. We'll check out Brave again. They have to have a way to get free crypto tokens on Brave browser. You've seen that. That's actually kind of cool. It's called BAT. The coins can be bought and sold. Also, viewers can donate their Brave coins to content providers and streamers. I've seen that as well. Delana Ramsey. It would be funny as hell if the fiber optic cables of Google, Amazon, Facebook were cut or otherwise isolated from VPN servers. Imagine the Kramer Mad Money scene from the House of Pain, Google, Amazon, and Facebook get taken down out of the bed. Sound effect, kid yelling, "Dad, not." Dad, no. Sorry, Dad, no. They're getting beaten with the redheaded stepchild down 27% each. Sound effect, Wilhelm screaming while falling. Actually, you know what? I think I got that. Hang on a second. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Wilhelm Scream. I got it. You know, that's the funniest damn thing, too, is if you look up the credits for the Wilhelm Scream, it's like it's a joke. It's literally a joke for sound guys now to put that in some place, and it's like the guy is like on flames and falling out the window. You know, the guy gets shot. You know, somebody gets run over by elephants. The guy discovers his girlfriend's in the closet with another guy. It's just one of those things where the sound effect has been used, and it's now almost like it's almost a joke for the sound guys to put it in there. Okay, it's like you have a voicemail. It's like a running joke at this point for the Wilhelm Scream to be in a movie. So anyway, I think it actually probably predates a lot of the times where people think it was around because it may have been. See, it was back even then, back in the 30s. All right, so we now have history on the Wilhelm Scream. It's everywhere. You can't avoid it. The Wilhelm Scream is just every place. Okay, you cannot avoid it. As a matter of fact, I think it's actually even been seen in instances where you have it's around. It's there. I'm going to tell you. It's around. Okay, so enough Wilhelm Scream. We had fun with that. So looking at my stack of stuff. Let's see. I don't want to get too much into the potential for Second Amendment utilage or for, basically the gross overtures of a overarching government trying to do two things, too many, and getting taken out to the woodshed and given what for. I really don't want to. I really don't want to be on that one tonight. But let's just say the Second Amendment is around to keep the First Amendment around. Okay. Matt Duncan on fire with the sound effects. Yeah, man. Rumor has it MeWe is associated with China. That's coming from Poe Diddley. You know what? That's something that's potentially, possibly, and could be. You know what? If anything, I want to make absolutely sure of a place, which it does, being located server farms in the United States. Why? For the very simple reason is for a fact where your stuff is going. It's not going to some Russian hackers or guys in the Ukrainian or some other goofballs getting your information and screwing around with it and doing that type of stuff and all kinds of disreputable things. I don't want that. So I'm doing some conversation on MeWe, but most of the time I'm in MeWe. I'm in like groups. I really haven't done a whole hell of a lot of posts on my profile or what have you. Most of the time I'm doing any conversation, it is in groups. I'm really not giving a whole hell of a lot of personal information. Mostly it's just me conversing with guys in pro-gun groups. And that's the other thing too, is also I've been telling everybody who will listen in any of those groups, anytime you're going to do any kind of, just any kind of deal, you probably want to take it off the platform. If you want to do something really wild and crazy, just email each other. But you know what? I would probably set up a secure email or a single-use email, because those things are available. You can actually get a hold of a single-use email to simply get a hold of somebody and say, hey, man, why don't we face-to-face this, and bing, bang, boom, and be done, what have you. Because I've actually done face-to-face deals all of several platforms. Like there was one guy on, I'm not even going to say the name of the location, but let's just say it is a firearms associated, basically it's like eBay. It's eBay for firearms. And you can look that up for what it's worth. And, those guys are good enough, big enough, you'll know who they are if you find them. So anyway, I contacted the guy because he was local to me. And he's like, yeah, we can this, that, and the other thing. It's like, well, you know what? You want to basically make it easy. You'll lose the fees for the sale. You'll lose all the associated crap of dealing with, having to go through PayPal and all the rest of this stuff. You want to do a face-to-face deal. And the guy's like, yeah, okay, sure, that sounds cool. And then I was like, you know what? Strike while the iron is hot. And we were emailing back and forth. And I was like, dude, let's just get together and to do this. We basically live roughly, like maybe 15 minutes apart. And so basically that was the easiest way to do it. So literally the item that I got off of the Gun Associated website, he just pulled the auction. So it was just easy in that regard. He didn't get charged. We got a face-to-face sale. He got cash in hand. I got the part. Done. That's how you do that one face-to-face. So I've been telling everybody on MeWe in the associated gun groups, I'm like, guys, if you can do it, do a face-to-face deal. Do not do this stuff on the interwebs. If anything, the evidence trail is going to be, you guys talk. Well, did you actually sell each other anything? No, unfortunately, we didn't have happen. We met up, and the price was such that we decided it really wasn't worth it, and nothing got transferred. Now, that's the other thing too. Is also if you put the onus on somebody else to prove the fact that you guys met and did something, you didn't have to prove of what you did. Oh yeah, you're guilty of conspiracy. Conspiracy to do what? Well, you guys transferred an XYZ. Now we decided not to sell it. Oh, okay. Well, he still has it. I don't know what he did with it. Maybe he sold it to somebody else. Then they go back to that guy and they're like, "What, do you still have it?" He goes, "Yeah, I sold it to somebody else." Well, who is that person? I don't know. I did it at a gun show or a flea market or something. I forget. Then the onus is on the agency to go, "Oh, okay. Now we got to track down the what's it." Well, if it's a non-serialized what's it, the search ends right there, because this is not anything that needs to have hold or be intriguing enough for them to go forward with it. Even then, I'm a big believer in personal property. The government doesn't regulate you selling a car to somebody else other than a bill of sale and a licensing of the vehicle to operate on the roadways. If you're selling a firearm, that's your personal property, and if your state doesn't prevent you from doing such by having to go through all the proper paperwork through their agencies, when'd you sell it? Oh, I got rid of that years ago. Who'd you sell it to? I don't remember. It's the onus is not on you to track down the weapon if it's ever utilized in a crime. That's on the police agencies to then do their job. Well, where did it come from? Does it matter? It got used to do a crime. Why don't you find the guy that actually used it? Bev is saying, I hate how it's dropping every few minutes. Signal's crap. It's not this crazy. Well, I'd hope it's not doing that on Facebook. Let me throw something out here real quick so hopefully she can see this. Let me go back out to the room. Let me go down here real fast. Give me 1 second here. Bev says, nope, I keep track of everything. Well, technically, you're supposed to do that, but I'm not going to do that. I've sold stuff in the past, and if dude does that, and if they trace it back to me, it's like, so when did you sell that? Oh, God, like probably 25 years ago. Oh, okay. Have fun. Now you have an evidence trail which to follow. 25 years. Okay, can you prove you sold it back then? No. Can you prove I didn't? No. Bye. Problem solved. Can you prove I had it in my hot little hands before that guy had it? 25 years. Have fun. For all you know, plumbing parts could be getting sold. Exactly. Exactly there, Beta. Exactly. Plumbing parts could be getting sold. You know, those plumbing parts, some of them are actually very hard to source. And there's certain names of plumbing parts that it's actually very, very hard to find. So when you do find somebody that has those plumbing parts, yes, you definitely wish to make the deal as soon as possible. Anyway, let me go over here real quick and scrolly. I don't know if you guys heard about this or not. This has been one of those things that's been kind of like near and dear. I don't know if I would say it's bucket list per se, but it's something I've been wanting to do for the longest time. I have never flown on a 747. Now, of that, the 747-8, I think it's the newest one. Let me go over here to the article real fast. I'll keep myself honest. Let's see. I think the Dash 8 is the newest, or I might be incorrect on that one here. Let me see here. Yes, the Dash 8 is the newest iteration of the Boeing 747. Now, the thing that kind of sucks is the last four 747-8s that are going to be constructed by Boeing out in Washington State and then shipped to their buyer, who is Atlas Air. That is going to be the last 747s ever built. Now, the reason being is just simple economics. The 787 is a very decent aircraft. It only uses two engines. It uses less fuel, composite construction, a whole bunch of new technology. I forget what they actually refer to that one wing design where it's really, really, really slick. It's very, very aerodynamic. It reduces fuel expenditure. There's a lot of tech that went into the thing that actually make it a very quote unquote clean aircraft. A clean aircraft is an aircraft that has minimal amount of air resistance. It utilizes less fuel per mile, per flight, per hour. You're carrying less fuel for the same amount of mileage. That's the other thing too. The biggest thing is there's actually an application that the airlines use called Fuel Buddy, and what they do is they figure out, okay, we're flying from here to there. We need X amount of fuel to fly from here to there. Now, the dirty little secret is the airlines always have about another hour and a half or so of emergency just in case gas that will keep them either orbiting the airport waiting for a clearance pattern or a departure to another airport to land safely. Now, the thing about it is they can fly all the time with full tanks of fuel. They don't do that for the very simple reason is if they're flying with 50,000 pounds of fuel and they only need 12,000 pounds of fuel, that's 38,000 pounds more fuel than they need to carry. And that's extra payload. That's extra work that the engines need to do. And that's extra amount of tailpipe emissions pushing all this crap through the air because the plane is working harder for stuff it doesn't need to do. So what they do is they figure out, X plus Y equals, Z for safe fuel load is what we need. We don't need Z plus 38,000 more pounds. So that's literally what they do with modern aircraft is they know how much gas they need to go from point A to point B. They don't haul around extra fuel unless they really, truly need to. And most of the time, they don't run full tanks. They don't have to. They're not flying far enough. They're not flying high enough. They're really just literally not flying to the absolute limits of the aircraft. And the other thing, too, is also the sheer efficiency of the engines is as such as that, a 747, when it was built, was a hellaciously awesome aircraft. It still is. It's one of the few aircrafts on the planet that'll take off with 1,000,000 pounds total weight. I mean, it is a badass bird. Druthers, it's got 4 hungry engines versus 2 engines. Now, the 4 hungry engines, they refer to that plane as a Mach maker because it literally has flown at Mach 1 plus because it was in a jet stream. It is literally the fastest commercial aircraft currently still in the air. If they redline that thing and they get it booking, it's quick. I mean, it's like on the cusp. I mean, it's like 0.93, I think, 0.93 Mach. So like, say it's like 720 miles per hour at sea level. I think it'll do like 660, 670. So close, but not quite. It won't quite crack the sound barrier unless you're high enough up and you got some tailwind that's pushing you faster. So if you got 120-mile-an-hour tailwind, yeah, you are cracking Mach 1. The only problem is that you're cooking a lot of fuel to get the bird moving that fast, and to keep it going that fast, they don't fly that fast nowadays. Usually what they'll do is say a plane does 570 miles an hour, they'll back it down to like 520, 510, maybe even 500, just because they get so much better gas mileage out of it, and the advantageous ability to fly and get another, 15 minutes faster or so over the flight. It's not justified by burning all that extra gas. And that's one of those things you could notice simply by just looking at, your fuel usage. And you can do the math. And, even in my, 2016 Honda Pilot, I have done long distance cruises, and I found a difference between cruising with the Econ button pushed in. So running as clean as I can run that car, with as much fuel mileage just set up as I possibly can. If I'm running at 65 miles an hour versus 75 miles an hour, I can gain about another mile, almost mile and a half per gallon. So if I'm doing a long distance run, 300 miles, well, that's another 30 plus, almost 50, 60 miles almost. So that really helps with the gas range. And I did notice that, because I did take a guy up to Brooklyn one night doing a lift run, and I booked it up there. And I was running like about 70, 75 the whole way. And no cops, nothing crazy like that. No traffic patterns I really had to worry about. And I noticed my gas mileage, dropped him off, got turned around and came back. And I was noticing, obviously I blew through about, the X amount of fuel to get up there. And I was like, let me see if I can make the whole run on a tank of fuel and back. And that's literally what I did. But I came back as efficiently as possible. And I did pick up another mile and a half per gallon. So just simply just reducing your speed 10 miles per hour reduces your fuel expenditure, because you're burning less gas to push the car or plane or whatever it is through the air and creating resistance, and of course having to fight the resistance. So that's literally what they do, is they'll reduce that usage. Now the 747 feeding for hungry older technology engines, even newer technology engines, yes, it's going to be more efficient. But as much as you're improving the engines, you're still flying around a plane that was certified about the same year that I was certified, back in the mid 60s. So the plane has improved, but it hasn't improved on the outside. The same basic geometry and body and all that other stuff is roughly the same plane as what they started out with when they engineered it back in the 50s and 60s, whatever it was that they made it. And it's been certified since like the mid 60s. So it's been a hell of a run. They are currently at 1,500 and hang on a second here. Hang on a second here. It's deep in the article here. I gotta find it real quick. Let's see. Well, anyway, they said that the 2020 was a tough year for Boeing. Normally, it delivers almost 600 planes, 566, was by Airbus. They only got out 157 planes. So they have not made that many of them. British Airways said it's going to retire all 28 of its 747s. Let's see. It's going to be challenging to find post-pandemic, it's going to be challenging to find a 747 in commercial service. Still a few 747 operators left. All U.S.-based carriers are retired the 747s. Now, the thing is, because it's such a good plane for moving heavy stuff, yes, it's still used by guys moving cargo. Yeah. So that's where they are with that one. Let's see. Okay. They built 1,560 747s in the lifespan of the vehicle since the mid 60s. Final four rolling out of the factory in 2022. 747 production line will close for good. Let's see. The biggest problem they say is, of course, just filling the seats. 350 seats on a plane. Unless you're going international and it's like a whole bunch of people really want to go at once, it's hard to fill them seats, man. I mean, It's really, really hard right now with the pandemic trying to fill seats, period, because a lot of people just really aren't traveling. Let's see here. Scroll. Let me look over here in the room real quick. Make sure you ask if they're a felon. CLUS is saying, yes, I definitely, dude. Definitely. Are they legally allowed to buy a gun? You can always print out the bill of sale. Legal questions, plenty of them online. Flew on Air Qantas 747 with a few people on it, spacious. Well, that was for Logan. The thing about it is everybody's like, wow, the A380 is so massive. Okay, the A380 is really not that much bigger than a 747. I think the wings are just a skosh bigger. The body is maybe just a touch longer. The biggest difference is when you look at a 747, is you have that hump in the front for the first class. An A380 is that same fuselage all the way down the length of the plane. So the front of a 747, that big little hump that they have there, the humpback right behind the pilot area and all the rest of that good stuff, that's your first class. A380 is that same diameter. That's the only major difference between those two planes. That's why the A380 holds so many people, is it's a true double-decker. But the biggest problem is with an A380 is you're also trying to stuff 500-600 people in the same bird. Who is all going to the same place at once? That might be part of the problem in its essence. So that's where we are with that one right there. And I think my phone is full. Oh, well. Okay, well, hopefully I do have, let me try something real quick here. I'm going to cheat real quick. I am going to cheat real quick here. So let's go over, you know what, maybe I can just cheat that into some files and stuff, but whatever. I got my phone is full. I think I pulled the card out and I was using the card for something else. Whatever. So let's see. Looking over here, on my bucket list is to eat a canister of peanuts, drink smuggled mini bottles of alcohol, and watch seconds from disaster and air crash investigation while flying. Holy crap, Beta. Want a ringtone of a pilot yelling, "Mayday, Mayday, Mayday! 38614, we are going down." Oh, jeez. I want 747 pilots willing to rev all the way up to and redline the 4 Rolls-Royce jet turbines valued at $50 million each, like a rent-a-wreck, to try to keep the bird in the air in the middle of turbulence. Whew. Yeah, those are some impressive stats, but the 747 is definitely a hellaciously awesome aircraft in terms of just general specs. You know what? Because we're not flying as much, there is no economic advantage to keep the thing flying, which is just kind of sad, man. Just an awesome, awesome aircraft. But I tend to think that there's going to be some boutique guy that comes out of it. He's like, you know what? I'm rich enough. I'm crazy enough. Let's get 300 or 400 nudists on the same 747. We'll have the nude flight to Europe, or we'll do the nude flight to so-and-so. Because the craziest damn thing is also a 747 is literally one of the longest range aircrafts on the planet. That thing can fly like 8,000 or 9,000 miles or something insane. Like I forget the actual ranges, but it's very high. So let me see real fast here. Keep myself honest. The maximum range on a 747 is like 7,730 nautical miles. So that's 6,000 foot miles, not 5,280 miles. That's nautical miles. So 2,000 yards. That is 14,310 kilometers. That's like back and forth to Europe, literally like take off, land in Europe, come back, same tank of gas. That's flying, man. That's really flying. Let's see. Scroll. I guess I caught up with all you guys in the room. So yeah, man, it's really just an awesome bird. It's kind of sad to see it going down like that, but unfortunately, it's just the zeitgeist of where we are. The spirit of the times kind of sucks. Speaking of other things that kind of suck, is looking over also on the same guy that actually posted stuff up over on the Brave news feed I was looking at. They say that the world's largest cruisers, cruise ships, are probably not going to start sailing until May. Well, I tend to think it might be just a little bit longer than that for people to actually go, okay, my comfort level is as such, I'm going to get on this boat. I've heard it posited. They've said that possibly they might start requiring people to get the vaccine before they go international. Biggest problem I have with this, the vaccine, first off, is unproven technology. Second off, it only supposedly works for 60 days. Okay, you had the shot, you got the vaccine, you go overseas, you get exposed to a different version of COVID. Whoops. Guess what? You got COVID. It's not like this vaccine's really going to help you that much. Hi, Mr. Tiggy. Hi. Mr. Tiggy here is not a happy kitty. He's still wearing the cone because he had surgery. He had an anal gland that went wrong and had an abscess. They had to give him a buttectomy, and also he has an ear infection in one of his ears. So I've been Mr. Grab the cat, dose the cat, unhappy in the process, but he's now very happy that I'm scritching the one area he can't quite get to because he's wearing the cone. So yeah, he can't really get to his head. So he comes to me and says, "Could you please scratch my head? I can't quite reach it." And I think his whiskers are also getting longer because they have no wear on them and they're getting stuffed into the cone. You done? Okay. I'll have to remember to wash my hands. Ugh. Anyway, looking at this article, they say for the some of the world's biggest cruise lines won't start sailing until May. Well, let me put this in perspective. I've been on number 3. I've been on number 4 of the world's biggest cruise ships. So I've been on the Oasis of the Seas, which is the namesake of the Oasis class. My last cruise was on the Allure of the Seas, which is the number 3 largest cruise ship on the planet. And you got to understand just how big these damn things are. I mean, I literally got on the wrong end of the boat. You're looking at the map and you're going, "Ow, man." And you got to walk to the other end of the boat. Well, this boat is 1,120 feet long. It's only not even 100 feet off of being a quarter mile long. It is an absolutely massive piece of construction. Just give me 1 second here. I mean, the displacement on it is 99,000 plus tons. It's 110, 112,000 displacement tons. So that's literally how much water moves out of the way when you put the boat in the water. That's not how much the boat weighs. That's how much water the boat moves out of the way when you put it in the water. It displaces that much water. Now, to put it in perspective, that much weight is closing in on 250,000 pounds of water moved out of the way. It is an absolutely insane piece of construction. I mean, if you look at a Nimitz class aircraft carrier, or the Ronald Reagan even next to one of these things. I mean, the Ronald Reagan is literally one of the largest boats on the planet, and it's smaller, quite a bit smaller. It basically stops about here, and the cruise ship is up around about here. It's literally, if you were to look at a cruise ship, it's you took one of our biggest aircraft carriers and you went boop, and then you said, that's cool. And you did another one, and you went boop on top of that. There's still about another half again as much boop on top of that. There's 14 decks, I think, if I remember correctly. There was 14 decks, and then there was 7 or 8 decks below that. So there's 26 or 27 decks almost of ability to go up and down in this thing. And they're huge. I mean, they're absolutely massive in size. I mean, you see the pictures of the thing, and it really doesn't do it justice. It's when you're on board and then you're looking around and you're walking around. I mean, I usually tell people about it. They're like, well, that sounds kind of cool. It sounds kind of big. It's dude, it's so damn big. It even had an ice skating rink on it. Okay. And they're like, what? It's yeah, when you got too hot, you wanted to cool off, the air conditioning wasn't good enough, you hung out down around the ice skating rink, and that's where you went because it's the coolest room in the boat. Unless you decided to hang out in one of the, the refrigerators, if they let you in there for a little while. But the thing about it is they're absolutely freaking massive. Now, I can tell you something else that's kind of cool about the Oasis class is once you've been on one of those boats, they're cookie cutters. So once you've been on one and you kind of figured out your lay of the land and you got, the idea of what this boat's like and you don't get lost that much anymore, they're all the same. Once you're on one Oasis class, they're all the same. Now, in terms of being actually on the boat itself, it really doesn't move. I mean, when you're laying down at night, you might get a little bit of, a little jostle, and that's about as good as it's going to get. I've been on 2 smaller cruise ships that left out of Baltimore Harbor, and it was quite a bit different being on the smaller boats. You actually could feel them move around a little bit, and on the really, really sketch nights or days, it did move around quite a bit. Like Mrs. Dewey gets motion sickness. I don't. I don't get motion sickness in the slightest being on a boat. The only thing I'll get is maybe about a day or two later, I'll be at home working on a computer. All of a sudden, it's like I get this rocking sensation. It's like, wait a minute, no, stop. There's nothing moving here. It's like I have to tell my inner ear to knock it off. The world's not moving anymore. But yeah, these guys are pretty much locked in right now. They're kind of screwed because, again, we're waiting for things to unlock. We're waiting for, stuff to happen. And obviously the politicians being the politicians, they're screwing things up and making it their own little monster of control. Let's see. Sound effects, Wilhelm screaming, this, that, and the other thing. Oh, hang on a second here. House of Pain, this, that, and the other thing. I'm sorry. I was just looking at the room there. I kind of lost my place. Nudist flight airline should invest in seat covers. Oh, dude. Oh, yeah. But then the problem is you hear them getting up, and it's just going to be icky. Oh. Hey, Bob, you want to get up and see this? Yeah, sure. Oh, yeah. That's just going to sound. Oh. Hey, what are you doing there?
Put that thing back where it came from, or so help me.
So help me. Oh, yuck. People standing up and sticking to the furniture. Yeah. Oh. Oh, Beta. No, his name is Tigger, like the Disney character, Tigger. And the reason why I called him Tigger is because I had to call him Tigger, otherwise he probably wouldn't have come in the house because my wife is a major Disney file. So that's how that one worked. Is I had to basically call him Digger, and I brought him in, and that's just how that one worked. Okay, so I couldn't call him anything but Tigger. No, I can't call him Beep Beep. I can't. Stop. I can't call him Beep Beep. No. Why would sound guy? No, that doesn't even make sense. Okay. No, that didn't even make sense. That didn't even make sense either. But okay, I can't call a cat Beep Beep. No. His name's not Beep Beep. Anyway, so that one got completely thrown off the tangent there, and it could sound like, yeah, it probably could sound like that. People getting up off the seats. All you hear is no, you wouldn't have to punch the guy to get him off the seat. Oh. No, you wouldn't have to punch him and get him off the seat. Hey, buddy, that's my seat. Get off of there. Oh, okay. It would become the nudist mixed martial arts flight, I guess. Oh man, that would be insane. The mixed martial arts nudist flight. Yeah, that would be awesome. Yuck. All right, so anyway, you guys are basically screwed because obviously you're going to be sticking a couple thousand people minimum. I mean, the boats that I was on, the small boats were like 2,400. The large boats were like 6,300 people. I mean, that's a lot of people in not a small space. I'm doing that air quote thing. But here's the thing is You got 60 to 6,400 passengers. The staff on the boat is another 2,300 people. That's a town, man. You almost have 10,000 people. You're walking around. They're coughing and hacking and touching and. I don't think they're doing all that, sound guy. No. What's with the beep beeps, dude? No. They're basically walking around and slobbering all over everything and. Okay, they could be doing that thing too, but I don't know if they're doing that in public. Okay.
Put that thing back where it came from, or so help me.
I put the punch in there. All right. So anyway, yeah, there's a lot of people all stuffed in the same area and hacking and coughing and touching and snotting and slobbering and all kinds of a whole mess of caca. Yeah, there's gonna be it's gonna be everywhere. All right. Before you know it, you'll be walking along and you'll have some old person just.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
Or they touch something and they touch their face.
It was at this moment that he knew he fucked up.
Yep. He really bleeped up. Yep. So anyway, you gotta be concerned about these things and you gotta be somewhat conscious of the fact that, well, you can't just walk around and squirt everything with alcohol and go, oh, I'm safe now. I've killed all the bougies. Because there's just so many bougies floating around that, well, you haven't killed all the bougies because there's just too many bougies. And they're going to be everywhere. So you got to be really careful that you don't infect yourself or get a bad case of the stuff or just. Okay. Oh no, not the Love Boat. No, I'm not getting that sound effect. Okay, I'm just not. I'm not gonna do that. I will not get that sound effect. All right. So you just got to be really careful because people are going to be spreading all their. I don't know about that sound guy, but it's definitely a case you. Oh. Yeah, he's in the fart file. They're not going to be spreading that around, okay? They won't. Oh, my. I hope they're not spreading that around. Oh, Beta. Quarantine 3, port of call, zombie apocalypse. Yeah, that'd be a hell of a video game there. Oh, man. That would be really, really just, no. Okay, so how do you deal with all these nasty little bougies? Well, okay, I think Ed 209 is just a little bit excessive there, sound guy. Ed 209, no, we don't need him running around and I think we're good, okay? No, we don't need that one. That's a little excessive, all right? No, we don't need him because Ed 209 is just a little bit more than
Death by Snoo Snoo.
Oh, he's indeedly more than death by Snoo Snoo, okay? No, we need to basically just kill the bougies, all right? The little guys hanging out on like everything you touched, or people walking around and sneezing and hacking and just spreading all that stuff around. It's just that's the stuff we don't need. Okay, really? Pac-Man? Pac-Man. Sound guy. Mac Duncan says the guys in OZ, read like Oz, read like Australia, are freaking out about COVID found in sewage treatment. Okay, so how do you deal with COVID found in sewage? Oh, I don't know how you deal with that. That's just a little bit no, that's not that one, man. That's Back Up to the Future. Oh, yeah, yeah, that's bad juju, dude. Bad, okay? Um, now when you get to that level, I mean, you're pretty much just you're dealing with bougies. I mean, bougies are everywhere, all right? And that's just how they are. I mean, you have viruses and bacteria and all that stuff everywhere, and they mutate and they get into you, and then oh no, 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 no. Sound guy, no. Viruses do not do that to you. They don't. Okay. That's the one thing viruses do not do. They do not do that at all. They mutate like every 42 minutes, and then you have a new one, and then oh jeez, no, it's not a bouncing baby one, all right? You have these little guys mutating, and then you got new ones, and then you have ones that are different than the ones that you're immune to, and well,
That's it, man. Game over, man. Game over.
no, I think you're fine, okay? It's not like you basically get them and then alien abduction, really? Okay, whatever. So anyway, that's where we are with that one. Hopefully the cruises and stuff unlocks and people will be doing things and doing normalcy. We need normalcy. We don't need more of what the politicians are doing to us. Let's see. Scrolly. See if anything else jumping at me. Oh, I don't know if you guys saw this one or not, but this is amazing. Absolutely freaking amazing. This is the kind of painful stuff that, well, basically comes back and bites you in the butt kind of stuff. Yeah. There is a news report out now that Facebook, because they're doing their woke stuff, they just basically got boned for like 60 billion, $60 billion in market value, which has been erased in just 2 days because they had advertisers like Starbucks and PepsiCo and let's see who else dropped them. Oh yeah, Verizon, Unilever, like the guys that make all the crap you rub all over yourself and wash things with. Yeah, Starbucks, PepsiCo, Coca-Cola, Unilever, Verizon have all suspended their advertising on Facebook, and in some cases on other social media platforms as well. Youch. Daniel Salmon, a BMO Capital Markets analyst, said the boycott wouldn't significantly hurt Facebook's revenue as it has more than 8 million advertisers. Yeah, right. Yeah. 60 million in market value. Oh, it's not going to hurt their bottom line. They're fine. It's cool. It's great. They got no problems. No, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. Once the feces hits 88 miles per hour, you're about to see some serious I got to do a clean version of that. I really do. You used the DeLorean? Marty, when this thing hits 88 miles an hour, you're going to see some serious. Yeah, I need to do a clean version. That'd be funny. Let's see. Scroll E. What the heck is this? Who's bugging me now? Oh, somebody sent somebody. All right. So anyway, but yeah, that's the kind of stuff that's coming back and biting them in the balls. Yeah, biting them right in the well, I don't think he's got. No, he doesn't have balls of steel. No, no, mm-mm, no. He does not have
balls.
No, no, nope, nope, nope. And most assuredly does not have.
I've got balls of steel.
Nope, 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 nope. Mark Zuckerberg whips out his baby nuts, and the girls are just like,
Ew.
yeah, I don't think they're drastically impressed in the slightest. Well, anyway, coming on a 10 o'clock time period. Appreciate you guys' kind attention. Hopefully things are working better in the Facebook side. I did change out the microphone. I'm running basically just a very basic headphone microphone. Like, basically you got like the earbuds and a microphone. And that's literally all I did was I took that, I put it down, and hopefully you guys are still hearing me. Even when I kind of turn away, I'm trying to kind of like, do like a kind of like almost like convoluted lean and talk this direction while looking that direction, kind of like almost like split myself in two thing. But anyway, coming on 10 o'clock time period, appreciate you guys' kind attention. You guys have many other places to go. Coming on Tuesday, really, really appreciate your kind attentions. Supposedly there was a speech done by President Trump at 9 o'clock. I don't know if that's being archived somewhere. Obviously, it's not on Facebook. Obviously, it's not on Twitter. And obviously, YouTube's going to do their damnedest to try to, kill that thing off. But, if you might want to find some curiosity and checking it out, it is around somewhere. So you guys want to see what he said. And I don't know anything about it, but, it is out there. Do be sure to check out my buddies over at Around the Cabin, roundthecabin.com, roundthecabin.com/, campfire. Yeah, that's what it is. Good stuff like that there. You find me obviously on Facebook, Dude Jerky 2. Find me on Facebook, hopefully sometime, into the future. YouTube, I'm obviously still on. I do actually have the MeWe now. So I'm on MeWe as Oh Me Oh My. I don't know if I've linked it up anywhere, but if you look for 80s Podcast Channel, I'm on there. So hopefully that kind of works out. Parlor, I'm not impressed with it. It's kind of the biggest problem I have with Parlor is it's too much like Twitter, and all the big names got all the attentions on it. Obviously it's owned by Sean Hannity and a bunch of other guys, and they're the ones that got the major attention from it. I really wasn't impressed. I mean, I tried it, logged in every once in a while and I checked it out. I really wasn't too terribly impressed. It's kind of it just didn't do anything for me. So I'm kind of not impressed with Parlor. And so I'm going to try MeWe. I am probably going to do Cloud Hub, see how that works. Obviously, I'm going to try Brave. Obviously, DuckDuckGo would be my preferred. So I probably need to start doing all these things. But you know what? The biggest damn problem is all your information's out there currently. You can't really call it back. And the dirtiest little secret about the internet is you can have no social media platform stuff anywhere, but all your information is currently still out there on the internet. Disgusting. Anyway, folks, I'm going to break up this one. Eat good, keep it always, you know, you love it, and I appreciate, very much appreciate your kind attentions. You guys hung out with me and good stuff like that there, and I will archive this hopefully on Facebook and on YouTube, and hopefully everything worked out that way. Facebook, pretty much like, it puts it up there really, really quick. YouTube is a little strange in the regard that, you post up a video on YouTube as a live cast, and I don't know if it's like a big channel thing or if it's a smaller channel thing. I mean, I'm not that small a channel, but obviously I don't get the huge views that the bigger channels do, but it seems to take a while for it to come out of queue. I can see it. I can log into my, like my studio and I can see it on YouTube, but I really can't do the give and take so much as like, seeing as like the chat as it happens in the chat room, except when the video posts up later on YouTube. So good stuff like that there. I'm gonna truly, truly appreciate your kind attention. You guys hung out with me and good stuff like that there. Sound guy and I are probably gonna have a little conversation about which sounds are appropriate as to which times. He's a bull in a china shop, okay? All right, folks, I appreciate your kind attention. I'm going to break up this one. Eat your tongue ring as always. You know it, you love it. And you guys hung out with me for the full time. You get a gold star for attention. Even if you just checked in, I appreciate your kind attentions. You guys hang out with me on the occasions where I'm on and you guys hang out. I'm completely stoked. I appreciate your kind attention. I'm going to break up this one. Thank you guys so much, and have a good week. See you guys next occasion. See ya. Button, 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 there. Button, button, button.